Yes, I shaved my mustache off. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys loved it for the whole month of November, but it'll come back again next year. No worries. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nikki MGTV for another video. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below if you have questions. But as always, let's roll right into the next topic, and that is military recruiters aren't going to lie to you guys in the year of 2020 or after that, because things are kind of transparent now. But I want to talk about that because I get a lot of questions from people that are like, how can I make sure recruiters don't lie to me? Fact checking their recruiters if they're lying with me, which I'm okay with, but don't use me as a reference to then play mom and pop with your recruiter. But I'll go over this, okay? Now, first off, I want to say I think we should maybe interpret the recruiting job a little bit different than what most people think of. And again, I'm not a recruiter. I don't do recruiting. I don't care if you join or not, but I have to make it transparent. I'm just some dude that's been active duty for over a decade that tries to share information and play a less biased role in trying to help you guys out. So that's my stance. Now let's go through this. So anyway, recruiters should, I think, probably be called liaisons, because they're really a liaison in processing getting you in the military and trying to get you there, because they don't really have much power other than doing the steps to process paperwork, gather information, send you the maps. They're more so conducting and coordinating where you're going in the process to make sure that it gets completed, but they don't have really too much control whether you do or don't join. For example, if you have a medical condition, they can't be like, I want this guy to join. That's just not how it happens. So there's that. Also, the recruiting process is a very standard process. You got to realize how many thousands of people come in the military each year, how many people leave each year. These are very standard processes. So to be transparent with this, I don't know if people have a different idea of the used car salesman. I get it. I understand it. I didn't have any bad experiences, but this is not like a contract that your recruiter is drafting up on like a napkin. It's like, here, son, sign your life away. I'm going to promise you that 65, Mustang, blah, blah. No, it's not like that at all. It's very standard. The people that have told you get things in writing, they are 100% right. Get everything in writing. If it's not in writing, it doesn't really matter. And that's where we're going to dive into some of the technicalities of what you guys sign for your contract when you join. So a typical contract is going to include a few things: terms and extensions. So how long you're going to be enlisted for, and if there's any extensions. Usually there's 8-year contract, 4 years active duty, 4 years inactive reserve. A lot of you guys are confused. That is not meaning you are a reservist. That just means that you will, on an annual basis, get a check-in with the military and say, hey, are you still alive, in case they had to recall you. But you have no obligations, no paycheck, no benefits, nothing like that. After that, you would just be a veteran status at that point. There will be extensions if your job requires more training, like mine's corpsman. We had to have 5-year contracts. If you're nuke, you're going to have much longer. So just things like that. Now, the next one is your A school, your tech training, your AIT, whatever branch you're in. This is going to be guaranteed. Now, I want to talk about two things with what's guaranteed in this part with your recruiter. You are guaranteed the training for that job, okay? Now, what that means is you could be Joe Schmo, bosun's mate, right? And say you got that job. Once you get to your command, they could be like, hey man, you're going to go work in the galley. You're going to go work in the kitchen. You're going to go work security or somewhere else. I'm not saying that happens to everybody. I'm just saying it can happen. So when you read it, just understand that's guaranteeing the job school, not the actual job, that's exactly what you're going to be doing. But obviously if the Navy or the military, whatever branch you're in, pays for that to happen, to have you trained for that, they're going to want you to work in that field. But it can happen where you work other areas. Another part about this, a lot of you guys ask about changing your job. Well, my recruiter promised me that I could change after 2 years. True. There's ways that you can change your job in the military. Marines call it lateral transfer. We call it cross-training in the Navy, whatever you want to call it. And pretty much there is no written guarantee. So say you got damage controlman or whatever job, and you're like, I don't really want this, but I want to change in 2 years. They're not going to include that in your contract. Your recruiter, when they say this, just means that you have the possibility or the opportunity to change jobs. So not a guarantee. That's what I want to decipher there. Also, this will include that pretty much saying you're going to follow all the military rules, everything that's entitled to someone in the military, all those legal aspects of just saying you're going to follow the rules and be in the military. So there's that. Also, it talks about the rank that you're going to be guaranteed. So make sure that that's correct if you've done JROTC, any other nonsense to get yourself to E3 or E2 if you're in the Marines. And then lastly, bonus. A lot of people ask about this. This is variable based on the fact that there are not many jobs that offer them. It is possible, but it's not guaranteed that everybody that goes into the military is going to get a bonus. I can tell you that somebody's gotten a bonus. That money goes quick. I'm not saying I've saved it and used it wisely, but I'm just saying for a lot of you guys, if it's like a $5,000 bonus, like for someone that's never had money, some of you guys don't realize how quick that money will go. On top of that with taxes. The next thing I want to discuss is you guys as people joining have way more resources with my videos, Google, Reddit, the Navy website, which is actually very good. All these military websites are actually pretty solid now. I feel like we are in the age of transparency. So back when I joined, there was no boot camp videos. Zero. Nada. None. So like the fact that they've brought you in to see what boot camp even really looks like, to show you all this, like it's funny because it's not a secret anymore. None of this is like, it's just you guys having to go through the process now. So realistically, I would say we are a very transparent military as things have continued over the past decade that I've been in. And I'll just be honest with you guys. There's points where I almost feel like it's too transparent because there's no surprise anymore. There's no like, wow, it's just like, oh yeah, this is what I saw on the video. This is what I saw. So, I mean, realistically, you have the internet to look up most of the stuff that you are concerned about. Many recruiters have been in a couple years. Every person in the military has a different experience. So if you talk to me that's worked along RPs and corpsmen and some other jobs in the military or in the Navy specifically, a lot, I could probably talk more intelligently about them. But if you're like, hey, Nikki, let's talk about subs or a cryptology rate of some kind, I'm going to be like, dude, I've talked to people a little bit, but they can't disclose much information. I can't really talk about that intelligently and get you any more information. So again, your recruiter's probably going to sound vague out of respect that they don't want to lie to you. And on top of that, that they probably don't have a lot of experience with it at the same time. Again, if you guys ever have questions about jobs, I swear Navy Cool is a great website that I checked out. Now, my last thing is some advice for you guys, and that is to take stuff with a grain of salt. That is not anything that I mentioned part of the contract, and just take it as a grain of salt until you actually get in and experience it. Things are constantly changing in the military. I do think some of you guys hold on to what people say and hear. It's good to keep your ear to the ground, listen for hoofbeats is what I call it, but the rumor mill will continue. So there is a lot more context to some of the stuff that you guys are wondering about. So that's why some of my videos are longer, but I appreciate you guys staying around to maybe understand that better. But as always, guys, if you guys do have questions, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.